Hi, everyone, and welcome to our June episode. Can't believe we're in the summer already. Well, we have a lot planned for the month of June. We are going to be, first of all, talking about our Irish Saturday and the webinar that we have planned for the month of June as well. And, you know, Irish sheep shearing was not only huge in Ireland, but also led to weaving, all kinds of different clothing. It was also big in Australia, New Zealand, and other parts of Europe, but also in the early days of the U.S. Well, it's also big even today, and we'll talk about that coming up here in a little bit. And we have our Irish History Minute, so let's get right to it. Our Irish Saturday for the month of June will be held on June 14th, so stop on by the Hoffman Research Library, which is located at the Minnesota Genealogy Center in Mendota Heights, Minnesota. Here's an opportunity to get some of your Irish research questions answered. The Minnesota Genealogy Center is located at 1385 Mendota Heights Road, Suite 100. You can also stop by the library during regular business hours, and to find out more about the library and hours of operation, go to the website at mngs.org. And our webinar for June will feature Chelley Brekke McClear. Her topic is called The Same Name Everywhere in Ireland, Sifting and Separating Family Groups. This presentation will be held on June 28th. This will be an in-person as well as an online presentation. The webinar will begin at 10:30 a.m. and will last until noon Central Time. Ever find a source record that seemed to be your ancestor only to discover 4 other men with the same name in the same place at the same time? Well, Chelley will take you through a process she devised using spreadsheets to untangle a Northern Irish case using 19th century records and how this helped to advance her. Again, this date is June 28th, and it is both a live and online event. The live event is limited to 40 attendees, so be sure to register now. Sheep shearing is a process in which the woolen fleece of a sheep is cut off. It's a necessary process, and it's done a few times during the year, especially after winter when temperatures start to warm up. Well, many times the fleece is then used to be spun and eventually applied for clothing. Now, it's an industry that dates back to the pre-industrial age, very much the case in Ireland and also throughout Europe and Australia, and even in the early days of the United States, and it's even done today. John Kirsten has been shearing sheep for roughly 45 years. He started when he was young, and his family had roughly 100 head of sheep on their property. His father thought that John and his brothers should learn how to shear sheep. He refined his shearing skills in college with the help of New Zealanders and Australians, and he has been shearing ever since. But it hasn't been easy.
I can't believe that anyone would do the second one, because the first one takes you an hour. The first one you ever try will take you all of an hour. So you got to be bent over for an hour, and then you got to decide, I want to do that again.
And you got to be in pretty good shape to do this.
It helps, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It helps.
Yeah. And how, now you do this year round, right?
We do,
yeah,
from January through December. There's less, this time of the year is the big time, so March, April, and May. And then it'll drag into June and July with some stragglers.
Mm-hmm. What's the most difficult part of all this? I mean, other than what I saw.
The most difficult part is probably catching them. Yeah, once you get them. So if I've got a son-in-law who catches and flips for me on big jobs. So that's half the work. I would say that's double the work.
So now you have this wool from the sheep you just sheared. Now what? Ann Camps has owned sheep for roughly 30 years. She's taken the wool obtained from shearers like John and has made sweaters, socks, and other types of clothing from it. She has the spinning wheels and the knowledge to put it all together, but it's not exactly a simple process.
So after I shear the sheep, that's the easy part, because I pay somebody. You'll meet John. Then I wash the wool. Then I have the wool carded, or I card the wool, which means taking the fiber and laying it all in one direction. So all the fiber is going to be going in one direction. You can see there's no knots in it. It's all nice and straight. And after I card it, then I will take it to my spinning wheel and spin it into a single ply yarn. And once I have 2 single ply yarns, I will twist that together and make a double ply yarn. And once I have a double ply yarn, I will turn it into a skein of yarn, which is basically just lengths of yarn. This is about 180 yards, and then once I have a skein of yarn, I can knit with it.
And this, as you were mentioning earlier, was the modern day way of doing it,
This is the
right?
modern day of doing
The
it.
older days,
Older days, shearing would have been done by hand with a hand clippers. Spinning would have been done with a walking wheel or a drop spindle. That was the other way they used to spin it. It's like a big top, and you drop it like a yo-yo, and the yarn is spun on that. So I don't do that. I use a treadle. So some of the stuff I've read says that wheels came into existence when the United States became the United States, because we didn't want to buy our fiber from England anymore, and we didn't have any production. So we got our spinning wheels, treadle wheels, so that we could try to produce our own fiber and be independent of England.
yeah. And as you were mentioning, this created a whole new business in Ireland.
Whole new business in Ireland and a whole new business in the United States. If you think about the textile industry in the Appalachian Mountains, right? That's where that industry came from. It became because we had fiber. And we did 2 things in the United States. We grew cotton and we had flax. So we could produce as long as we had the machines to turn it into a product.
Okay.
In Ireland, we think we do death well. You may have heard of the Irish Wake, a great send-off for our dead. In this Irish Minute, we'll have a quick look at Ireland's fascinating history of burying the dead. Ireland's oldest known graveyard was founded by the first inhabitants, the Mesolithic peoples, or hunter-gatherers, who braved the chill of the last ice age and settled in Ireland. A small group of hunter-gatherers came together to bury one of their own on the banks of the River Shannon. They placed the remains of a man upon a large funerary pyre, lit it, and afterwards the cremated bone was gathered and placed within a small pit, marked by a wooden post, revealing that the burial was important enough to be marked out as a special place. The man was buried with symbolic grave goods, suggesting a belief in life after death. Over the following years, 2 more burials were added, and in doing so, the first Irish cemetery was founded. A profound shift in burial practices can be seen in the Neolithic era, 4000 to 2000 BC, with the age of farming. As the Neolithic farmers were not moving around, they were able to build larger and more permanent dwellings, which also resulted in the rise of the megalithic tombs, monumental structures with colossal stones, often communal burial places, for example Newgrange in County Meath. A new way of marking the resting places of the dead happened in the Bronze Age, 2500 to 500 BC. Cairns, or mounds of stones, and cists, stone-lined graves, were used. Cremation became more prevalent. Some Bronze Age burials are marked by circular earthworks or barrows, but many do not seem to have any above-ground marker. During the Celtic period, from around 500 BC to 400 AD, the Celts lived in fortified mounds, such as ring forts, and buried their dead close by in burial mounds. Depending on which tribe you are in, you might be buried, cremated, or have your ashes buried. It is widely believed that the Irish Wake was heavily influenced by elements of paganism and may have originated in Ireland with the ancient Celts. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Slán.
Well, that's our episode for this month, and thanks to Una for a really interesting Irish History Minute. Some things you learn certainly every day, and then also thanks to Anne and John for what a great story on the sheep shearing and how they go about doing their business, and what you make of some of that wool that you get from the sheep. And this is our last episode for Season 3, so we're going to begin Season 4 in the month of July. So I hope to see you then. Take care. Are you a member of the IGSI? You're not, but you'd like to be? Here's all you have to do. Head to the website at irishgenealogical.org. There you'll find the join link on the left side of the page, and that's where you can sign up and become a member. You can also register for any of the webinars this year on the website as well, and as a member you can also see past webinars from the previous year. And besides enjoying all the members' benefits, you can always sign in and go over many of the programs and services that the IGSI has to offer, and that would include viewing past webinars, surname interests, the e-newsletter. Would you like to be a volunteer at the IGSI? Here's all you have to do. Get on the website at irishgenealogical.org and scroll down to the volunteer link. There you can see all the options that are available to you. That would include helping out with the Irish Fest in Minnesota, or any of the social and educational programs, or you could even help out with the social media platforms and podcasts, or the SEPS magazine and Genealogist newsletter. Just click on the Volunteer Now link and sign up. For more information about the Irish Genealogical Society International, go to the website at irishgenealogical.org. And for questions regarding the podcast, send an email to podcast@irishgenealogical.org.